Hey, friend, Church D coming at you once again. Thank you for tuning in to What Does It Take to Win? I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm doing all right myself. I wish I could hear you guys talk back to me, but hey, if you want to respond to this, you can just send me a DM or something. I hope you're doing well. I hope your 2021 is going pretty well for you and your family and friends and all that good stuff. I hope you're staying positive and remaining productive. I hope you've been listening to my previous episodes of my podcast and taking some of the advice I'm giving you guys. I do this just to continue to encourage people and, for those who are looking for a little outlet or looking for some advice, and they're not quite sure what they want to do or if they have a dilemma, this is why I've made that podcast. So I'm here for you guys, that's that's all I wanted to say about that. But let's go ahead and jump right in. But of course, before we start, I'd like to let you guys know once again that I've released some original music. My latest album, entitled Something's Missing, is now available on every digital outlet and every platform. And you can also buy it from Bandcamp. Just go to bandcamp.com/churchd and you can buy it directly from there. In fact, when you buy it from Bandcamp, I get the funds instantly. If you go through other digital distribution companies, it's cool. I'll see my change like probably a month or two from now. There's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate that. Thank you for listening and purchasing it there. But if you want to get me my coins really quickly, just go on bandcamp.com/churchd and you can purchase that album there. Also, if you'd like to get some of my older projects, back in 2019, I dropped an album by the name of The Cactus, Bare Minimum 2.0. I also dropped a single in March of 2020 by the name of The Vision. And I also dropped an EP during the summer of 2020 by the name of The Big Reveal. So you can check out all of my discography wherever, you listen to music. You could support me that way. Just go to linktree.com/churchd, or you can actually just click the link that's in this description and it should take you there. Or you could simply just Google me, Church D, and I think all my content is online. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, wherever is clever. You can just connect with me there and we can go from there. Also, if you're looking to purchase instrumentals, beats, etc., and you create content like I do, or if you have a podcast and you need a jingle, if you're a rapper and you're like, hey man, I need some dope beats, or if you're a singer-songwriter and you're looking for some beats and you just don't have time to make it, head over to soundclick.com/churchd. I have over 100 instrumentals that you can choose from and counting. So I'll just continue to add to that list and have it grow. You can lease them, or if you want exclusive rights, we can talk about that as well. Just head on over there if you need that. I'm here to help you out. I'm here to serve you, okay? That's enough promo for now. Let's dive right into the topic of the hour, or not really an hour, probably 15 minutes. This is going to be short and sweet for you guys this week. So, so the topic for this episode is prepare yourself. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So it's all about preparation. I'm pretty sure I've done another episode in regards to preparing yourself and being ready so you don't have to get ready. So you can never be too prepared. So I just want to put that out there. And I have 3 short, quick, easy points that I want to share with you all. So the first point is you can't always make something happen, but you can always prepare so you'll be ready when it does happen. The second point is things don't always happen because we make them happen. They just do. The third and final point is create an outline or a blueprint and go with the flow as things begin to fall into place. Okay, so let's start off with the first point. You can't always make something happen, but you can definitely prepare so you'll be ready when it does happen. Now, sometimes we can take charge and make things happen. For example, if you're working on your 9 to 5 and your boss says, hey, I need you to make this happen. Yeah, you absolutely can make this happen. Like, here, do this report, make it happen, Captain, right? You can make that happen. Or, like if you're an entrepreneur or, you run your own company, you have to make things happen. You have to generate revenue. You have to get an income. Otherwise, you'll have to shut down. So yes, you can make things happen. But some things are simply just out of your control. and you have to just sort of prepare for that. Some things just happen, and you want it to happen, but you don't expect it to happen the way it does or within the timing it's taking place. So I'll give an example, and I'm pretty sure I've spoken about this on a previous episode, but it definitely deals with preparation. So when I was getting ready to start my company and go into production full time, I was saying, I was actually praying on it. This is a few years back, and it wasn't necessarily or specifically, hey, I want to, start doing production full time. But like my prayer was, hey, God, this week I want you to surprise me with something good. Okay, that was my prayer at the time. And I'm just like, I didn't really have an expectation of what was going to happen, but I just wanted something good to happen and something brand new. So, okay, my prayer was, God, I want you to surprise me with something good and something brand new. Didn't know what was coming. I get a text. I'm sitting at my job. I get a text, and, an individual, they were like, hey, I want to help you go into this production thing. Like, I want it to like flourish for you, and I'm going to bring in somebody else to help speed along the process. And so it happened that way. Now, before I even started with the whole production thing, I was preparing myself. So I was learning my craft. I was getting better at making beats. I was learning how to use different DAWs. I was trying to get better at playing piano and even starting to learn other instruments. Actually, shortly before I got that text, I started writing out a list of equipment that I would need for my studio. So the different interfaces, instruments, software, drum, percussion, guitars, etc. Whatever it was, you name it. I began to prepare and say, okay, I'm going to need this, and this is what that purpose is going to be for this, and so on. And I still have the list till this day, and it's still dated, I believe. I write a lot of things down, and just so I can kind of look back and say, okay, yeah, I prepared for that. This was on my mind, and it's actually happened. So I was preparing for something that I didn't quite know was going to happen, but I had a feeling that, okay, well, at least let me get ready. So when something great does come, I'll be ready. I don't have to scramble and try to get everything and scrape everything together in hopes of being prepared for it, even though I'm not. Okay. So I couldn't make that happen. Yes, I prayed on it. I talked to God, and thankfully, his answer was like, yeah, man, I'm going to make this happen for you. But I couldn't make that happen. I couldn't reach out to that person, or not reach out. I couldn't hold that person's hand and make them type on their phone a text message and say, hey, I want to help you set up your company. I couldn't do that. That's not something I could have made happen. But what I did do was prepare for it so that when it did happen, and this is going to just sound redundant, I was ready and things just sort of aligned and fell into place. Which is a pretty good segue into my next point of how things don't always happen because we make them happen. They sort of just do happen. So like I had mentioned in my first point, I could not have made that happen. It just sort of all aligned. It came together and it just happened. And things happen in due season. If you don't prepare for it, you can actually end up missing the opportunity. So I'll talk a little bit about my touring experience. I always talk about this and traveling overseas. I miss it. The pandemic is here. I can't really do shows like that these days. So I'm relying heavily on production, which is cool. It's nice that I'm able to share my original content with the world, but that's besides the point. So back to my touring experience. That was something I had to prepare for. And again, I'm pretty sure I spoke about this in another podcast episode, but coming up, I had to perfect my gift. I had to get good at what I did. I had to strengthen my hands, my forearms, my wrists. I had to have correct fingering for the piano. Because if you don't have that, your hands could start to cramp up, believe it or not. And I had to just discipline myself so I could learn the music as close to the record as possible if I didn't have sheet music or charts in front of me. And that's what allowed me to prepare and stand out from the rest. Now, there are plenty of musicians, piano players, etc., that can play circles around me that have never had a chance to tour. or that are just not making a living from music, or if they are making a living, they haven't done it to the level that they are capable of doing. And a lot of it comes from preparation. It's not that they're not great musicians. Sometimes it could just be character flaws. People tend to not want to work with folks that they don't get along with, but that's a whole nother podcast episode I could talk about if you would like me to. Send me a DM, write me a letter, email me, whatever. But yeah, they just simply weren't prepared. They might be good at playing, like they might have the dexterity, they might have the ideas, but they may not have that mental focus to prepare. And that's what really ends up being their downfall. So don't miss your opportunity by not preparing. The good part about this is these things happen in cycles. I've seen this all the time. I'd be in a situation in which things were beginning to go downhill. Like, okay, I'm about to lose this gig, or I'm about to take an L, or just lose out on this production deal. And then the cycle comes full circle. Somebody else will reach out to me with another opportunity. 9 times out of 10, that opportunity is even better than the previous one. And now it's like, okay, God's saying, okay, you got a second chance. Just be prepared. So it's like that previous loss that you took was like a form of preparation. Now that just popped in my mind. I don't know where that came from, but hopefully that helps somebody. So learn from your losses, learn from, your failure to prepare, and grow from that. Okay, I didn't prepare for this test. Okay, we'll use test. I didn't prepare for this test this time. Didn't get the best grade. Okay, the next test, I'm going to prepare for that, and I'm going to ace it. I'm going to get 100%. That wasn't too bad, actually. I hope you guys caught on to that gem. All right, let me stop cracking myself up, and let's move on to this third and final point. And it basically says to create an outline or a blueprint and go with the flow as things begin to fall into place. Now in life, we all have ideas of how we'd like our lives to go. I know I did. When I was young, I was like, okay, I want to do this, that, and that. I didn't know how I was going to get it done, but I just knew I wanted to do it. And I'm sure like all of us always say, well, enough of us always say, hey, I want to be rich, or when I become rich, this is going to happen. And that's great. Like, it's good to speak that positivity over your life. But we don't really have the strategies on how to become rich. Well, a lot of us don't, at least, because in school, that's not something they teach us. They teach us algebra, geometry, maybe English, history, or partial history, but they don't teach us like these basic life skills. So we have to figure that out on our own. And so the same thing with creating an outline or a blueprint. So I might say, okay, well, I want to be a touring musician, right? We'll stick with that because, again, that's my thing. That's what I enjoy. So I'm young. Let's say I'm a teenager and I'm into music. I'm just getting my feet wet, I say, okay, I want to be a touring musician by the time I'm in my 20s or mid 20s. I don't know what to do because I'm a teenager. I don't necessarily have a mentor who's going to teach me how to do that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to practice. I'm going to do what I see the touring musicians do. I'm going to copy their every move, how they play their instrument, how they walk, how they talk. I'm just going to prepare myself so that when that happens, I'll know everything's going to just fall into place and I'll be that touring musician. Now, hopefully the touring musicians that you're copying are good people, because sometimes, the character flaws kick in and it's like, oh, well, maybe you don't want to copy that one, but you can copy this one. But that's besides the point. But yeah, you have to just sort of create an outline or a blueprint and just, let everything fall into place. I was talking to a relative of mine. I'm going to leave you with this last piece and then we'll be getting out of here or ending this podcast. I was talking with a relative of mine and, they were just letting me know, they're older, of course. They were saying, you know what, man, you've always been ahead of your time. I saw that from when you were a kid. You've just always been ahead of your time. I'm like, well, what do you mean by that? And they went on to say, what you did, you wanted to become a musician. You wanted to do the entertainment and music stuff professionally, but you always had in the back of your mind that you needed something to fall back on. And they're correct about that because, we're in a pandemic right now and things are rough. Thankfully, I do have stuff to fall back on. And the reason why I do have stuff to fall back on is because I had created that blueprint or that outline growing up. Like I had mentioned, I knew this is something I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure how to do it. So I just literally wrote out that blueprint or that outline. I said, okay, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to have that to fall back on. If I don't have this to fall back on, this thing is going to have to carry me and so on, But I just knew, okay, this is the goal I want to get to. This is the point I want to reach, and not quite sure how the actual journey is going to be, but I'm just going to outline it. And then as things begin to happen, I'm going to be prepared, and it's all going to align and fall into place. So let's give a quick recap of the 3 points. Point number 1, you can't always make something happen, but you can always prepare so you'll be ready when it does happen. Point number 2, things don't always happen because we make them happen. Hey, sometimes they just do, and they'll happen in due season. It's happened with me. And the third and final point, create an outline or a blueprint and go with the flow as things begin to fall into place. Hey, we'll have a better idea of how we want our lives to play out, and it's just going to align with the plan that God has for us. Thanks for listening to this podcast. I hope it blessed you and I hope it encouraged you. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to share this. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with people you don't even like. Share it with that person who keeps bothering you for advice. I got you covered. And lastly, if you'd like to connect with me, just click the link in the description for all of my content. I have some great things in store for you. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.